and welcome to another Retro Core, and yet again we're going to be looking at some hardware. Today we're going to take a look at this. This is the XRGB-3 upscan converter unit. Now basically what that means is you can put your classic consoles on a modern day TV and they won't look ass. Now there are many upscalers on the market, so why should you choose the XRGB-3? Because it's not exactly cheap, but then again it's not exactly the most expensive. Well, basically this device was built with gamers in mind, unlike many other devices out there. So to see what it can do with your lovely retro game consoles, we're going to give it a test with a few different games. Okay, so first off we're going to be playing some high resolution. No, we won't, we'll do that last. We'll do some old 2D school, old school 2D shoot 'em up action with a Dudonpachi there. Yep, lovely. And then we'll have some platforming action with a KO. What the hell's this called in English? I can't remember. And here we go with some high resolution 3D battle action with Dead or Alive. Lovely. And we're also going to check out something older than the Sega Saturn. Even though this is Retro Core SS, we're going to check out some lovely Mega Drive gaming action. Now this is actually my EverDrive. Yep, lovely. The reason I'm using this EverDrive is because all my Mega Drive games are actually in storage. And this is not an official EverDrive case, this is one I've made myself. Looks pretty nice though, must say so. Okay, so we're going to check out some Mega Drive games as well to see how old classic 15 kHz console will work on a modern day flat panel screen. Now originally I was going to use the Toshiba Exit LED TV, but the problem with that is it doesn't have any VGA in. Okay, now the problem with this is I want to use scan lines, and unfortunately the scan line option on these upscalers only usually works over VGA, so instead I'm going to use this 22-inch Acer Full HD full high definition monitor. I'll be using that. So first of all let's take a look at the actual XRGB itself. Now straight away you can probably see this funny little port and you're probably thinking, what the hell is that? Well, that's known as a D terminal, and basically all it is a not a composite port, a component port. Now Japanese TVs don't usually have component ports on them, as you'll see right here. Let's get around the back of this Toshiba. Okay, now you've got these weird little cards as well which you need to watch the normal TV. See, as you can see down the sides we've got USBs, and then we've got the HDMI, the fourth one. Usual composite over there as well. Now around the back you've got more USBs, your digital and all that. You've got your LAN inputs and whatever. You've got more HDMI ports, 3 there. Some more stuff in there. And here are your D-sub sockets. Now, as you can see, your D-terminal sockets I should say. And these are basically what Japanese use for a component picture. Now technically there are 5 levels of this type of port on Japanese TVs, and they can go up to 1080p, but I don't actually know any systems that will use a 1080p signal through the D terminal. The highest I've ever seen is 720p, so there you go. But it is technically possible to get up to a full 1080p through those component sockets known as D terminals. Anyway, so the XRGB, being a Japanese system, does have a lot of these on, and also, which you will find very, very useful, and European gamers indeed will love this, a full-on RGB input, 21 pin RGB input on the front of the system. Now it is wired up differently to your European SCART connectors, so you will have to rewire them or buy a true RGB connector. But once you've done that, you'll get all your games in lovely quality RGB. Okay, so let's take a look around the back of the system. Now this is going to be a complete pain in the backside here because I've got to move everything around. Alright, hopefully it won't fall down. Right, why exactly you'd want to plug a console in using shitty composite, I do not know. But then again, some consoles you don't have much of an option, do you? So you got some composite inputs there, some more composite inputs, 2 S-video inputs, another D terminal or component, whatever you want to call it, and you've also got a lovely 15 pin RGB in there, so you can connect your PC up to that, I guess. And around here another D terminal, okay. And here you've got your audio line out. or your line in, I should say, and your USB socket up there. Now the USB socket is actually used for updating the firmware on the upscaler. And we have display out. It's got a PC in there. Display out being DVI or standard VGA. Now we're going to use VGA because we want to use the scanline option, which is what this machine is all about. Okay, oh by the way, these Creative Lab speakers are very cheap and the sound you get out of them is very, very nice. Got a lovely bass thing on the top as well. There's another one over there, nice. For the price you can't go wrong. Okay, so let's fire up a console and see what these games look like running. Okay, now before we actually get into the games, I want to show you some of the options on the XRGB's menu system. Now I'll be using the remote control. I don't know if you can see it here. It comes with the remote control. Yep, very nice. Okay, so first we've got the aspect ratio. Now we all know what aspect ratio is. Okay, so picture. Now when you go to picture, you can change the brightness, the gamma, the black levels, the sharpness, your red gain, your green gain, your blue gain, red gamma, green gamma, blue gamma. You can change anything you want as far as color goes. Okay, and we've also got screen setups where you can change the horizontal, vertical positions, shift the picture around and whatever. So there's lots of different things you can do there. Okay, you got picture in picture is basically the same thing which most modern TVs do. So nothing too special there. You've got Screen Plus, which has got your guidelines which go around the side of the screen, which we don't really need. All sorts of other stuff on there which are guaranteed to clean up the picture, take away noise and so on. Screen size, you can zoom the screen. And actually we'll just zoom the screen here. Digital zoom to, actually no, because I don't want to do that because I'll mess everything up. Draw method, field or frame. Whoops. There we go. And let's see, we've also got some sound options where you can mix the audio between two different inputs, you know, treble, bass, center speaker and so on. Options, you can change the D terminal signals from YUV, you can't actually see that there, can you? From YUV to RGB and so on. Okay, and of course the 21-pin RGB, which we all know and love. Well, at least us who are really into the games. Okay, power mode, freeze frame, you can take freeze frame captures from your games. Very nice if you want to take a nice screenshot of a fast action moving game. Different filters, where you can have a auto, low or low pass. Keep it on auto. Horizontal sync, vertical sync, low res mode enabled. Yes, you can actually run real low resolution game machines on here. And here we go with the resolution settings. Now, I'm actually running this through VGA because I want to use the scanline option. The scanline option only works in the VGA mode. But you can get this to go all the way up to full HD and then beyond. So you're talking some really good high resolutions and the picture looks stunning no matter what you're sticking through it on high resolution. Okay, and let's see, you've got the timing as well of the high resolution, and down to advanced, more picture tuning options. Here we got your different modes. Now we're actually using B1 modes, which I did mention only works through VGA and it provides the scan lines. Lovely stuff. Okay, more filtering and so on. Now let's start up our first game, which is going to be Donpachi. Now what we'll do now is we'll zoom in the camera and I'll put it on manual mode, so hopefully it will keep the focus. Let's get that in focus. There we go. Now we have got the scan line switched on here at around about 75%, I think that'd be. Now just watch this, it's magical as you remove the scan lines. Right, hang on a minute. Oops, that wasn't it. Now here we go, horizontal scan lines. Now watch the picture actually change. I'm going to turn the scan lines all the way up to full power. Now look at that, doesn't that look lovely? Now I'm not too sure what this is going to look like on YouTube, but on my official site this is going to look bloody good because you know, I put the videos up in real high quality. Okay, and I'll just take away the scan lines. while this is on here. And watch the picture suddenly change into what we all know on HD TV. Isn't that horrible? It's disgusting. Let's get those scan lines back on again. Oh yeah, vast improvement. Actually, I like them around about this much intensity. Yes. Now, doesn't that look lovely? Much better than the standard high definition screen, I must say. Okay, now let's take a look at some classic 2D platforming. Camera. Now, doesn't that look lovely? I'll try and get the camera straight. Here we go. Oop. That's what happens when you don't pay attention to the screen. Okay. So as you can see, even the 2D platformers look very, very nice. Now remember, what you actually see on here is not as good as it looks in real life. You just got to take my word for it of how good it looks. Okay, and here we go with it running some super high definition visuals from your Sega Saturn. And as you can see, it's looking lovely as well. Right, let's just pause that and then zoom in a little bit. We'll zoom in on Kasumi's face. Okay, let's get that in focus. So here we go, we'll take the scan lines off completely. And let's put the scan lines on in full. There you go, an old style monitor. Now that flickering is due to the high resolution output of a Sega Saturn. It looks like that on a CRT as well. That's the way it looks. Right, no scan lines. Okay, so the granddaddy is out. Let's check out some real old stuff running on a modern day flat panel HD television. Oh, doesn't that look lovely? That's Sega Mega Drive running through RGB on a high definition television. Now it may not be as perfect as a CRT, but considering this is run on a full high definition panel, that is an amazing picture for the Sega Mega Drive. Let me just pause this and get a close-up look. Look at that. That is lovely. Okay, so the battery is about to run out on my video camera, so I hope you've enjoyed this look at RGB gaming on a modern high definition TV. Until next time,